Chapter 16. Raish knew Batman was inside the palace, but he, as well as Sin Tzu, wanted Batman to believe he was stealthily making his way to the study. Meanwhile, outside, Batman was systematically taking down the sentries on each floor of the palace, en route to Raish's study. On the 10th floor, Batman hid in a small area blanketed by shadow as a sentry stopped to talk into his walkie-talkie. "No, Batman is still here. Locked down every floor," the walkie-talkie squawked. Then the sentry frowned. "I don't care how, just do it!" The sentry yelled. Just then black hands came out of the shadows and grabbed him, and his world then went black. Continuing up and up, Batman finally reached his goal. "Time to end this," Batman said to himself. Raish heard the footsteps at the door. A candle flickered. He was in the room. "Good," Raish thought. "Welcome, detective," Raish said, not turning to face Batman. "Welcome, Batman," a confident Sin Tzu said, standing up from his meditation. "There's one thing I still don't get," Batman began. "Why wager on me? Was this some kind of bet to see who could beat me? To outsmart me? To use some of my deadliest enemies in an attempt to prove to each other who is my equal? Who is my equal in terms of skill and strategy? Or was this part of a bigger plan?" Batman finished, his eyes narrowing. "Brilliant as always, detective," Raish said with a bit of excitement in his voice. "But now it is time to end this little contest." "I concur," Sin Tzu said, and suddenly jabbed his right talon gauntlet into Raish's chest, but heard a small clang and saw a copper breastplate over Raish's chest. "Fool, do you really think I wouldn't be expecting you to betray me?" Raish said as he swung an Arabian saber he had concealed behind his back under his cape. Sin Tzu dodged the swing with ease and delivered a roundhouse kick to Raish al Ghul's stomach, then blocked and countered Batman's strikes with an open palm strike to the chest, which knocked the Dark Knight back at least 2 feet. "It seems we have a common enemy, detective. Perhaps we should set aside our differences. And do not worry, detective. You do not need to tell me how to deal with him. I will simply wound him, not kill him, for your benefit, at least for now," Raish said in a stern but confident tone. Chapter 17/Epilogue. Sin Tzu used the ancient techniques of Mata Sua. I'm sure I mispronounced that wrong. With a bright glow surrounding him as the yin-yang symbol on his forehead started to spin, Batman and Raish charged at him. Batman threw 4 batarangs, 2 from each hand. Sin Tzu caught them with ease and hurled them back at both Raish and Batman. Raish blocked them with his saber as Batman strafed left and right, dodging them without stopping his forward motion. Batman then tried to perform a sharp knife-edge chop, but was countered, and his own momentum was used against him as he was flipped onto his back hard. And Raish swung his saber afterwards, only to have it stop and the hilt slammed into his face as Sin Tzu threw it out of his hands. Raish threw off his cape and pulled 2 wooden tofas out from behind his sash and started to flail at Sin Tzu with precision. When an opening in his defense became clear, Raish grazed Sin Tzu's right cheek. Sin Tzu Sensu leaned back only to get a knee in the back and an elbow smashed in the back of his head hard by Batman. Sensu was dazed enough that Ra's al Ghul jabbed him in the stomach, then struck him in the side of the temple. Sensu stumbled to get his bearings. I was a fool, he thought. I underestimated both Al Ghul and Batman, especially both of them working in tandem. Now I will lose if I do not regroup and fast. But it was already too late, as Batman had grabbed him and pinned both his arms behind his back, and gave him a solid headbutt, all the while punching him in the while simultaneously headbutted him, then punched him in the stomach, knocking the air out of him, as Batman held him up by his collar. You lost, Sensu, Batman said. For all your cunning, for all your knowledge and training, you lacked the one thing, the one simple thing that would have allowed you to win. And Batman said flatly, humility. As Sensu was then loaded into the Batwing, as Ra's just watched on, unreadable and blank. So, Detective, I suppose you will be going as well, Al Ghul said tensely, waiting for Batman to react, but the Dark Knight slightly turned his head. Just this once, I'll not fight you, but if you pull something like this again, I will take you down. Ra's gentlemanly and sportingly extended his hand. It is only sporting we shake hands. I trust you won't do anything uncivil, Al Ghul said as Batman shook his hand. Ra's felt a slight prick and knew the detective wouldn't let him off the hook that easily, but it didn't matter. The detective had won and rightfully deserved a break. On his way to Gotham, Batman contacted Commissioner Gordon to meet him with backup. How'd you do it? Gordon asked. Ra's and I teamed up, and then I carefully drugged him, Batman said, watching as both men were loaded into the prison van. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, Gordon said with a sheepish grin. So, Gordon said, turning to Batman, but he was already gone. Gordon just smiled as he sipped at his coffee. Back at the Batcave, Bruce pulled off his cowl. He and sat in one of the Batcave's many supercomputers, going through his routine probing radio frequencies and security cameras for trouble in Gotham. Alfred then walked over with a tray of warm coffee and a hot ham sandwich. Bruce nodded for Alfred to set the tray down and started to eat. So, Master Bruce, now that you've got past this obstacle course of villains, perhaps you should rest now? Alfred said, slightly concerned. Bruce turned to Alfred and slightly smiled. Perhaps there's nothing going on, so maybe I'll lay down for a bit till something comes up. Alfred smiled gingerly. Very good, sir. The Batwave suddenly went off. Joker had escaped Arkham. Bruce pulled his cowl back on over his face. Don't wait for me, he said, sprinting, and then leapt in towards the Batmobile. I never do, sir, Alfred said, pursing his lips as the Batmobile sped off into Gotham's dark streets. The Batmobile roared through the streets as onlookers jeered and cheered. Small-time crooks ran, etc. From the roof of Gotham PD's building shined a white searchlight with a large outline of a bat in the center. Batman was needed. He would right the wrongs of Gotham. The criminals, the murders, the criminal underworld, they feared him. He was vengeance. He was the night. He was Batman. And I'm not going to read the afterword, but to say the least, I thought that I would do my own Batman story, at least for once. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and if you didn't, then I'm sorry to have bored you to tears. I really thought that I would do something special, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And, that is that. My way of giving back to you guys for all your love and support. Take care.